Well, a quick turnaround in a doubleheader of sorts. The Aces finish off a win of the continuation of a rain-suspended Game 3, and now the Aces look to continue and punctuate this round against the Perth Heat with a series victory. Welcome into Aces TV. Josh Sperber here with Michael Marcanzini. And Mike, that was a heck of a way to continue a rain-suspended game.
Yeah, I mean, this Aces team continues to fight when they're down. It doesn't matter if it's the middle innings, late innings, they won't quit. And the bats came alive in the later innings. Jacob Robson got it started in the middle innings with that solo homer for the Aces' first hit, and they didn't stop hitting after that. 4 homers in the game for the Aces. Matt O'Neill came away with the eventual game-winning hit, the 2-run single up the middle. All-around great performance. The bullpen was spectacular. 4 relievers combined to allow just 2 runs in the 7 1/3 innings that they had to cover. And I think the most important stat, the Aces are 2-0 in suspended games this season. So something about finishing it the next day, the vibes change, the momentum changes, and Peter Moylan's club looks to carry that momentum and get a series victory here with a win in this game. And
they will do it on the back of Cody Mincy, who had a spectacular start in the season opener for the Aces in a game Melbourne ultimately lost, but not by way of Cody Mincy's pitching.
5 innings, just the 1 unearned run in the game. He looked really good and gave the Aces everything they could have asked for in the season opener, giving them some length going 5 innings. He'll look to do that today as well.
And he'll do it against a tough Perth Heat lineup that remains very similar to Game 1 as Tim Kenley lifts this into right field. A late charge, and the ball drops in front of right fielder Chris Burke. I think he lost that one in the sun. The wind might have played a wet role as well, but a high-arcing fly ball single from Tim Kenley starts off the second game of this Sunday afternoon.
A tough start there for the Aces, and it's an adventure out there in the outfield today with the wind and, of course, now the sun playing a role. Man, it's been a tough day for the official scoring crew here at Melbourne Ballpark. I feel for them. It's been tough.
That is going to be ruled a hit, so Kennelly on first base, and Willie Vasquez will bat second. He takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner. Kennelly, Vasquez, and Reddick, the due-up for Perth. Junior Caminero batting fourth, Alex Hall fifth, Pete Kozma bats sixth, Ulrich Boyarsky batting seventh, Jake Bowie eighth, and B.J. Cook playing consecutive games for the first time this series in batting ninth. It's a 1-1 count now to Willie Vasquez. And Cody Mincy, who's allowed 1 unearned run this season, 5 strong innings against Geelong, and 7 strikeouts.
Yeah, really impressed overall and just looking to keep it going.
Vasquez laces this into center field. A sliding catch, and the play is made. Jacob Robson with a web gem to rob Vasquez of a base hit.
That's a big grab, hard hit ball, sinking liner. That's a tough ball to read and also a tough ball to get to on the fly, and Robson was able to do both really well. And that's a big out for Mincy.
Moves from right into center with no problems as we take a look at this All-Star Access Higher replay.
Yeah, look at Robson. Sort of at the end, that ball kind of knuckled on him, and tough read, but he's able to make the grab.
That'll bring up Josh Reddick, who takes the first pitch, a called strike fastball on the outside corner. Reddick hit his first home run of his ABL career in his last game in a really solid offensive showing for both teams. 9 hits apiece. The Aces with a comeback 8-6 win in what was a continuation of Game 3 of this series. Breaking ball outside, count 1-1.
Josh Reddick really well-traveled in his career, and I mean, you just take a look at this guy's baseball reference page, and you got to just keep scrolling. That's how long it is for all the baseball he's played.
Lifted high in the air out to deep left field. Ranging back is Willis. Makes the catch on the warning track for out number 2. So for Cody Mincy, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 hits, and an unearned run in 5 innings. Did record the loss against Geelong, but a really solid outing for Mincy in Game 1.
Yeah, I like what Mincy has in his pitch arsenal. The changeup looked really good his last time out, And keeping it down in the zone is, of course, the key for any pitcher, and Mincy did that really well in his first start.
2 down here in the top of the first inning. Junior Caminero takes a first pitch. That fastball looks like it has some extra zip to it from Mincy.
He's well rested, and sometimes that can be really good for a pitcher. Other times you want to be more on that every 4 or 5 day schedule. Now that's not something that they're able to do all the time in the ABL with games only 4 days a week.
Swing and a miss. A hefty hack from Caminero, but comes up empty on a breaking ball.
So the Aces decided to reshuffle their pitching staff for round 2. And with Mincy starting the opener in round 1, he's now starting the series finale in round 2. So somebody had to go off turn and get a little bit extra rest, and that's Mincy.
Mincy, the second-year ace, got the opening day start on Friday, November 11th. So 9 days in between starts as he gets Caminero to tip one foul.
And I like the idea of keeping Brian Flynn and Dan McGraw more on a regular turn. It worked out really well for Brian Flynn. Now, McGraw didn't have his best stuff his last time out, but I like the idea of keeping those guys fresh more on a regular turn schedule.
Because Cody Mincy's pitched more than either of them have in the last season. Brian Flynn pitching after a year and a half off as the slider misses outside 2-2. And Dan McGraw didn't have the in-season reps that Cody Mincy does, getting plenty of innings in between AA Pensacola and AAA Jacksonville in the Marlins system.
Yeah, and Mincy's also worked out of the bullpen, so he knows that he doesn't always have to be every 4th or 5th day for him. He's used to pitching on 1 day, no rest or 5 days rest.
Runner goes, pitch bounces outside. The throw in time, but it bounces out of the glove of George Khalil. So it's a stolen base for Tim Kennelly and a full count to Junior Caminero. Heat get a runner on scoring position early. 3-2 the count, 2 outs. As the home plate umpire Ian Gavin shows the signs to everyone on the field. Andrew Bell at first, Paul Latta at third. And that is the umpiring crew for today. 3-2 count. Mincy deals. Foul tip, and we'll do it again. We'll set the defense for the Melbourne Aces. Matt O'Neill, the battery mate of Cody Mincy, moving from first to the catching position. And he also got that go-ahead 2 RBI single that put the Aces ahead for good. J.D. Osborne at first, George Khalil at second, Jared Dale at short, and Robbie Glendinning at third. Aiden Willis in left, Jacob Robson in center, Chris Burke in right for the Aces. Mincy deals. Just missing outside. Cody was on his way to the dugout, but the 3-2 count gives way to a 2-out walk to Junior Caminero to bring up Alex Hall, who is in the lineup for the 4th straight game, but not behind the plate tonight for Perth.
Yeah, I'm sure Alex is happy to have a rest from his work behind the plate. Gets to patrol the outfield here in the second game, and he's done a solid job in the middle of this Perth lineup. Hit the ball well over the last 2 games.
I don't want to say he's struggled in this series, but just a high bar to come down from after an outstanding opening round for Perth. As the pitch misses outside, a fastball from Mincy makes it 1-0. Hall, the catcher in the first 3 games. Only way he struggled was defensively, a couple of errant throws, but it's hard to get those good quick throws against these Aces base runners. 1-0. Hit on the ground, foul. Hall in the continuation of the game. He walked last night, finished the day with 2 walks, 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 3rd. We can talk a lot about the offense, but 8 errors between the 2 teams in the continuated game.
A little bit surprising to see that.
1-1, misses low.
And, of course, the errors did have an impact on the final score. Now, only 2 of the 5 runs that the Aces scored in that 7th inning were earned. But you can't put the outcome of that game just on the error that was made in that inning. There were errors throughout.
2-1. Missed outside. O'Neill tried for the back pick, but he loses the ball mid-throwing motion, allowing Kennelly to get back to second base. 3 balls, 1 strike to Alex Hall.
Yeah, big pitch coming here from Mincy, falling behind the 5-hole hitter with 2 already on base.
3-1. Called strike 2. Catching the inside corner. That breaking stuff's looking pretty good from Cody Mincy.
It would be huge for Mincy to throw up a 0 here in the top of the first and get the Aces right back into the dugout with a chance to put some more runs on the board, putting up 8 runs in the first game of the day.
The payoff pitch. Runners go. Swing and a miss. And actually, he may have tipped it. I thought it just bounced off of O'Neill's glove, but Alex Hall did get a piece to keep that game alive. Or inning alive, I should say. The game just started.
Mincy's had to throw a lot of big pitches so far in this inning. Has to come back with one in the zone here on 3-2 once again. And with the runners going on the pitch, anything to the gap or down the lines will score both.
Payoff again. Runners go, just missing outside. Cody Mincy, 2 full count walks, narrowly missing to end the inning. And now Matt O'Neill will go have a chat with his starter after he loads the bases with 2 outs.
Yeah, like you said, he's not missing by much here. So it's just a matter of commanding that fastball a little bit better, hitting the corners, and another good chat from O'Neill to slow things down, give Mincy a breather before Pete Kozma comes to the dish with bases loaded.
And as you said, Mike, Pete Kozma up, Tim Kennelly on third, Junior Caminero on second, and Alex Hall atop first base after 2 straight 2-out walks. And Kozma certainly a guy who could punish a pitcher as the breaking ball in there for a called first strike. Kozma punished the Aces pitchers in Game 1, hit his first home run of the season, 8th overall in his 3-year career with Perth. This one is hit sharply foul down the right field line.
He's gotten some really good swings today. And that ball he hit out to left was a really solid piece. He went to the gap in left center his first time up once this game resumed earlier today. 2 really hard hit balls to the pull side. He's getting the hips around. He's getting the hands through the baseball.
Total of 2 for 5. 4 of those at-bats came today. The 2 hits both went for extra bases. A double and a home run. 0-2. Hit on the ground to short. Dale fields it, quickly throws to first, and that ends the inning. So Cody Mincy loads the bases with 2 2-out walks, but leaves them that way. 3 left for Perth. 1 hit, no run score, and the Aces come up to bat in a scoreless ball game. You're watching Melbourne Aces baseball right here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Cody Mincy gets himself in and out of a jam in the first inning, but he has certainly been able to come up big when needed. And so has this Aces lineup. Josh Sperber, Michael Mark Antonini here for Game 2 of a doubleheader. This one will be just 7 innings after the earlier edition of Aces Baseball was a continuation of a game shortened by rain that Melbourne took home 8-6. And a big reason for that is coming up to the plate right now in the leadoff man, Aaron Whitefield.
You can just tell he's really loose out there. He's having a lot of fun. He's making jokes with the guys on Perth. Some of these guys he knows from playing on the Australian national team, other areas throughout his career. But he's getting locked in, playing a great defense in center field, and the ball's finding the barrel of his bat.
And with the DH for the second game as he takes strike one. And he was pretty busy in center field, so it'll be good for him to rest his legs, save it for running the bases. 0-1. Breaking ball, misses on the inside, count 1-1. It's Juan Rodriguez who gets the start for Perth. Typically out of the bullpen as Whitefield fouls it back.
Yeah, this is his 4th game already this season. The ERA a little bit higher than he'd liked. It's currently at 16.88 through 3 games. He's given up 5 earned runs on 7 hits in 2 2/3 innings of work.
Fastball misses way upstairs, 2-2.
4 walks and no strikeouts, so he'd like to turn his season around. But already 4 appearances for manager Andrew Kyle this season.
As the next pitch fills up the count, 3-2 to Whitefield, who's looking patient in this at-bat. And Rodriguez struggled in his last outing, pitched in the series opener against Melbourne. 2 runs allowed and 2 hits as well. The pitch, fouled back, we'll do it again. Rodriguez allowed the game-sealing double to J.D. Osborne, pitching the 8th inning. 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts in the Aces' 5-2 win. As ball 4 bounces in front of home plate, and Aaron Whitefield will lead off the game with a walk.
Great job by Whitefield to see a few pitches there, get himself on base, and give the Aces a chance to pick up right where they left off in the last game. And Chris Burke, swinging the bat really well, went opposite field, straightaway left with that solo homer in the last game, and see if he can just keep it going.
And you don't see a lot of opposite field home runs, but Chris Burke able to deliver as he pops this one straight up, and that's going to tail behind the Perth Heat dugout and end up as a souvenir. Oh, 0-1 the count to Burke, who has been in the corner outfield spots in just about every game this season. As the DH in the continuing game earlier on, he had that solo home run in the 5th, otherwise was 1 for 4. Whitefield, a dangerous base running threat on first as the throw goes back to first, and he will get in there safely. Set the defense for Perth. Pete Cosma on first base, B.J. Cook at second, Willie Vasquez and Junior Caminero at short and third, as they have been this entire series. Juan Rodriguez, the starter, gets set to pitch to Jake Bowie. Off goes Whitefield. Pitches inside. A good jump by Aaron, and good throw or not, Whitefield is into second base safely. His first stolen base of the day. The ball did pop out of Willie Vasquez's glove, but with the jump Aaron had, it did not matter.
It was a good throw, and Whitefield, just that closing speed, not only the breakaway speed off of first base, but then the closing speed to get there before the throw at second and make sure he stays on the bag.
Now early on, the Aces have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Burt tips this one foul, straight back, 1-2.
He's going to be such a big weapon for this Aces team throughout the season. I mean, because every time he gets on base, you have to know there's a really good chance he'll run.
And we saw a couple times it just caused the pitcher and first baseman for Perth to be playing a game of catch because they were that concerned about the base running threat of Aaron Whitefield. The 1-2. Outside, count evens 2-2.
And with Whitefield, he gives you the opportunity to get a man in scoring position without a hit. You know, this situation right here is a perfect example. Walks, gets the second on a stolen base. Didn't take a hit to get somebody there, and now clean single up the middle will get him home.
He's what some like to call an automatic double as Rodriguez fires back to second. unsuccessful on the pickoff attempt. And especially in last year in the minor leagues when the pickoff rule was changed that the pitcher had to step off the mound to make a run, he was one of those guys that really took advantage of it in the Angels system. Guys you knew would just be running right when the pitch was going to be thrown.
Yeah, his stolen base numbers are off the charts. I mean, multiple seasons of 30-plus in the minors.
And 2 with 20-plus here in the ABL. As Burke, hard ground ball to second base, easy play for Cook. And Cosma squeezes for the out, but Aaron Whitefield now 90 feet from becoming the first run of the game.
It's exactly what they needed Chris to do right there. Push one to the right side. Didn't matter how hard he hit it. He got the runner over. And that's just good baseball from the Aces. And now a chance to get this run in without a hit. And that's what happens for good teams, throughout a season. How many times can you score a run without a hit, taking advantage of walks and stolen bases, errors, just good situational baseball?
And Glendening takes the first pitch outside. And you're exactly right. With one out, they do have the chance to get a run home, hit or not, because with Whitefield's speed and aggression on the base pass, if this baseball sees green grass, he's probably going. 1-0 pitch. That's definitely deep enough for a sacrifice into center field. Reddick eases under it, and Aaron Whitefield is going to walk home on the sacrifice fly.
Just so casual with it. Whitefield looks like he's having so much fun out there. And Glendening doing a job right there, and there it is. Score a run without a hit on the board, and that sets the tone for the rest of the way and gives Cody Mincy some early run support.
It's almost like they heard us.
I think they did. They probably got it on in the dugout.
I'm going to say yes. It makes me feel more important. But any way you slice it, Aces don't have a hit yet, but they do open up the scoring, as that is the most casual sac fly I think I've ever seen.
I'm telling you, he's having so much fun, and I love seeing it.
Swing and a miss by J.D. Osborne, and Reddick in center field didn't even bother trying to get the throw in. He knew that there was no shot, and just kind of a mutual respect and understanding between the two talented center fielders.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Osborne lifts this high in the air out to right field. Drifting towards foul territory is Cosma, and that gets behind his glove to make it 0-2.
Peter Moylan has so many options when building his lineup, and we haven't even talked a lot about Darryl George because he's not on the roster for round 2. But once he's back and ready to get back in the middle of the lineup, I mean, it's going to be scary 1 through 9. It already is now.
Yeah. There are not a lot of holes. I don't think there are any holes in this Aces lineup. Speaking of which, though, Robbie Glendening, his first RBI of the season on that sacrifice. Probably the easiest one he'll ever get.
Yeah, nice piece, stay in the middle of the diamond, and gave it a ride.
2 outs, 0-2 count to J.D. Osborne, as Rodriguez is now set. The customary reliever deals from the stretch. Outside, count 1-2. Osborne moving from catcher to first base, and we can talk about how dangerous the hitting is, but you got to look at the versatility because so many guys on this Aces roster can play so many different positions. Yeah. Osborne, one of them.
And whenever one player's out of the lineup, you know that they can cover it because guys can move all over the diamond, and it's really nice that Peter Moylan's able to rotate the designated hitter and give different guys days off their feet here and there. You get Whitefield a chance to DH here in game 2, so he doesn't need to play the outfield twice in a day.
2-2. Hit high in the air, foul.
The fact that both of Peter's catchers, J.D. Osborne and Matt O'Neill, can both play first base. J.D., we saw him in left field in one game. He was a third baseman in college. So the versatility matters, and that will be even more noticeable late in the season when guys are tired and banged up and, making a playoff push.
Pitch outside, count full. And we talked about the Darryl George injury. Having these catchers, both bats you want in the lineup, having that versatility to play first base is big. Robbie Glendening can play just about anywhere on the infield. And the outfielders, I mean, you can play eeny, meeny, miny, mo to choose where everyone's going. And we talked about the 3 center field defensive lineup that we had in this first game today.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I mean, obviously watching them do their thing at the plate is fun. But just the defensive performance we've seen through 2 rounds is really cool to see as well.
And just so many just highlight reel plays, particularly in the outfield. But the guy at the plate, J.D. Osborne, has made a couple of nice plays on the first base corner. Payoff again. That one's lifted deep into center field. Reddick going back on the track, leaping up. Goodbye, J.D. Osborne. A solo shot. The first hit of the game for the Aces leaves the ballpark. 2-0 Melbourne in the first.
He's got some serious raw power, such a strong individual. And we talked about it in the last broadcast, how he really likes the top half of his bat to be a little heavier in the weight distribution to go that way. Well, he got all barrel there and blasted that one out of the ballpark.
And certainly not a no-doubter. You saw the power on that swing, but that just kept on carrying out of here, and that comes from the power behind it. If the ball's hit hard enough, it doesn't have to be a towering fly ball to leave the yard with swings like J.D. Osborne. The fourth run that Rodriguez is allowed. J.D. Osborne, 3 RBIs off of Juan Rodriguez. As Jared Dale lifts this high in the air, shallow right center, back on the infield turf, and the catch made by Cook to end the inning. But not before Melbourne puts themselves on the board. Nobody stranded on the base pass, but a run or 2 runs on 1 hit, including a J.D. Osborne solo home run, give the Melbourne Aces their earliest lead of the season. 2-0 heading into the second here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
We're 2 pitches into the top of the second inning and a 2-0 lead for the Aces. Maverick and the dance team look pretty pleased.
Yeah, everybody's having fun.
So is Ulrich Bojarski. Goodbye.
A little bit less fun now. That's a deep drive right there. Yeah, Bojarski's had himself a series. He's driven in at least 1 run in all 4 games, 3 homers now. Just can't get this guy out.
Yeah, 3 home runs against the Aces. Second time in 2 series that we have had a 3 home run hitter against Melbourne. It's Bojarski this time, a no-doubt blast over the left field wall, but the Aces still have the lead, 2-1.
I haven't checked to see how the other hitters are faring in the other 3 series around the ABL, but I got to imagine Bojarski's got to be up there for a favorite for hitter of the week in the ABL.
There are plenty of choices from this series, I'll tell you that. Now it's Jake Bowie who takes a look at ball 1. Mincy, that's his first earned run allowed in now his 7th inning of work overall this season. Bouncing ball makes it 2-0. Two-1 lead for Melbourne. The pitch. Fastball just misses outside, and it's 3-0. So it could be a day of the homers. That's 5 homers for the Aces now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that wind is still going out there. I mean, in game one of the day, it was pretty crazy.
That misses way outside, so a 4-pitch walk for Mincy after the home run. So the tying run is aboard for B.J. Cook.
Yeah, Mincy just needs to bear down right here, find that first out of the inning, and then things will settle down.
But Cook, this is his 3rd game of the series. He had 1 hit yesterday, ended up scoring in the second inning of the continuing game. As there's a strike from Mincy, 0-1 count to BJ. So 1 hit for Cook, and this now his 9th plate appearance, 8th at bat, as he walked last game. There's another strike on the breaking ball. It's 0-2. So Mincy quickly working through the number 9 hitter on this Heat squad with a runner on first base. The pitch. Breaking ball low, count 1-2. Slight shift to the pull side on third base for Cook, and he swings and misses at strike 3. 5th punch out of the season for Cody Mincy, first K of the day for the first out here in the second.
Yeah, really important to come back and get out number 1 there. I always look to see what a pitcher does after he walks a batter, and to come right back and get the punch out there, credit to Cody for really locking in.
Yeah, home run and a walk, and then just a dominant strikeout. The 1 ball was just on a purpose pitch, trying to get a swinging strikeout, but Mincy got the job done anyway. Now Tim Kennelly tries to bunt it, but that goes right down the line, foul.
Kennelly's been another tough out in this series, Josh, especially at the top of the order. He's reached base safely in his first AB in each of the last 3 games, and he's been another one tough to get out.
Yeah, the only time he went without a hit was when he was in the 6th spot in the Heat order back in game 1. But 2 doubles and a single in the first inning, in the first at bat for Tim Kennelly. Or Kennelly. I keep on messing that up.
It's a tough one. It's one you look at it and you say it different each time you look at it.
1 ball, 1 strike to Kennelly. The pitch. Swing and a miss. A nasty breaking ball from Cody Mincy makes it 1-2.
Looks like the wind's picked up a little bit more here in the second inning. The flags are really flying out there in left field, and the wind blowing from right to left today.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for those flag poles to keep the flags of the many different countries represented in the ABL on the string there. Here's the 1-2. Inside, and Kennelly had to arch his body out of the way.
Now, those flags are a really nice touch out across the outfield, Josh. I like that. Add some character to the park.
And now they're showing the direction of the wind right out to left field.
Yeah, that's very important. That's what I like, not knowing which way the wind's blowing.
I think it's part of the reason we've seen so many home runs today.
Just a little bit.
And just these are 2 of the best hitting teams in the ABL. That's a more major part. 2-2. That one's lifted high in the air, foul down the first base line.
So we've got 8 home runs so far on the day. 9. I keep forgetting, it's like they hit 1 and I've got that number in my head and then another one gets hit. All right, so the home run counter is at 9 today.
You think we're reaching double digits?
I think it's pretty safe to say we'll hit double digits.
That might be it there, but it just goes foul.
I'd prefer if we didn't hit double digits in this half inning, though.
Kennelly not too far off from getting on the home run board. That was a rocket of a shot, but it drifted over the Cyclone tool shed in left field foul territory. Count now 2-2 to one of the longest tenured players in the ABL. 13 years with the Heat now. Outside on the heater, count 3-2. We've seen a couple of shots right down that third base, that third base line, namely Song Chan Oi. Had a couple of those in the first series. Payoff pitch. Foul ball, thumping off the Heat dugout. Aces surprisingly getting an arm loose in their bullpen early. A right-hander, looks like Darcy Longstaff is getting some warm-up tosses in.
Yeah, I guess just knowing that Mincy hasn't been as sharp as he was in his first start, you want to have somebody ready if needed. But the goal is for Mincy to get through this second and then just bear down and keep going from there.
Payoff pitch, high in the air, foul, and Tim Kennelly really battling in this at-bat.
Double play right now would be huge. Just get it done, get those 2 outs on one batter, and get back into the dugout.
And the pitch count high for both pitchers. I think one of the reasons that Darcy Longstaff is warming up is because Mincy, 44 pitches right now.
Yeah, one time through the order, 3 walks, the single and the home run. Not ideal for Cody. He's got the 1 strikeout.
Yeah, the Heat clearly watched their film on him. They're really sitting back and waiting on Mincy's pitches.
A lot of deep counts and just looking for that put-away stuff, that put-away pitch here on 3-2.
There it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A high fastball does the trick, sending Tim Kennelly back to the Heat dugout for the second out in the inning.
Back-to-back punch-outs. That's great to see from Cody. 1 more to get here in the second. I mean, this game's it's not going to end 2-1. It's just not. The offense the offense is in this series. Both lineups swinging the bat really well, and of course the wind playing such a role. I mean, there's going to be a lot more runs going on the board.
Willie Vasquez takes the first pitch upstairs. Yeah, I mean, in what started out as a pitcher's heavy series, the batters have certainly made their presence felt. And there's Vasquez. Could he tie it up? No. Another one launched down the left field line, but it drifts foul over the Heat bullpen.
Yeah, another close call right there. Another hard hit ball. But it's just a long strike. That's all it is.
That's the second one where there's just been a shot down the left field line. Kennelly had a pitch just like that in his last inning. Or at bat, excuse me. 1-1. Just missing up and in. 2-1 to Vasquez. One of the highest ranked minor league prospects in the ABL. Number 8 in the Rays system. 2-1. Sliced high in the air and tailing foul down the right field line. That's going to land past the All-Star bar. 2-2 to Vasquez. Won a championship with Charleston, the Carolina League champs, in a strong 2022 season. 256 hitter on the year with 10 homers, 73 RBIs, and more impressively, 9 triples. But a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Here in the second, Mincy trying to close it out. Called strike 3. A breaking ball dots the eye on the outside corner. And Cody Mincy fights back with 3 straight punch-outs to end the second. The Heat, though, get on the board. A leadoff homer by Ulrich Bojarski makes it 2-1. The Aces in the lead.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Home runs have told the story early on in the final game of the second round of the ABL season. Aces 2, Heat 1 in the bottom of the second inning in a day where we've seen a whole lot of long balls, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. 9 home runs in total between the two teams. The Aces leading the slugfest 5-4. And we knew coming in that it was going to be like this with the win the way it is. And just the way that both these teams have been hitting the baseball throughout the series. Fun day of baseball here at the park. You can't ask for much more than some sunny weather, some blue skies, and some home runs.
Yeah, not much better than that, really.
Throw in some food and maybe a couple of wobbly pops, and
oh yeah,
and that'll complete the day.
For us, that's a post-game thing. Speaking of wobbly pops, Jacob Robson is up at the plate. Guy who, I don't want to say coined that term, but he totally did.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, I'm just going to say he did. I don't know that for sure, but he did.
He's earned a few.
Yeah,
especially
certainly.
The way he's playing today.
Couple of hits in game one. And that one's hit high in the air out to left field. Drifting back is Hall, and he makes the catch for out number one. The aggressive approach, though, of Jacob Robson in the quickest at bat of this game.
He's got some serious opposite field power, and it doesn't look like he puts that much into the swing, but he stays on the pitch so well and just takes it that way. He doesn't try to pull that, because a lot of times guys do that and they end up rolling over to first or second. He goes with it, and even just a fly ball like that almost carried to the track.
Now bring up Matt O'Neill, who gets a first pitch curveball for a strike. And here's Rodriguez. That one is hammered into left center field, and a sinking liner makes a single for Matt O'Neill. 1 on and 1 out now for the Melbourne Aces to bring up Aiden Willis.
Looks like a beach ball out there right now for these Aces hitters. And I wonder about the depth of this Perth pitching staff, because in this series, just look at what they've done today with the guys who've started both these games. Now, Jordan Power started last night and then came back out today. And then, of course, you've got a reliever on the mound starting Game 4. So I'm wondering about the depth of this Perth pitching staff right now.
And the first pitch to Aiden Willis misses outside, and you think this has the makings of a bullpen game because Juan Rodriguez not typically a starter. We already saw him in a late relief capacity for Perth this series. Already a man warming up for the Heat in their bullpen. Looks like a right-hander. And now a 1-0 to Willis. Fastball outside, count 2-0. Willis joined the home run party in the first game. 2 for 4 in the contest. A solo home run, a double, and he scored on that Aaron Whitefield home run in the 7th. Now he's got a chance to do some damage with a good runner on first base in Matt O'Neill. Appeal over to first base. A long pause and a ball 3 call from Andrew Bell at first. Now Willis, in his first year as a senior player with the team, was a development player in a couple past years, but made his name in the Melbourne Challenge Series as he takes a called strike, 3-1. But he's making the most of his opportunities.
Yeah, just taking off right away. We saw him in that exhibition tune-up for the Aces against the Victoria Baseball All-Stars. Hit a home run, double, and a single in that game, and has a handful of extra base hits already through 2 rounds.
Now we talk about Aaron Whitefield as a walking double. You got to give that same kind of moniker to Aiden Willis as well with his speed. 3-1 misses low, and you have one of the fastest men in the ballpark taking a walk over to first base. 2 on and 1 out for George Khalil.
And now a quick visit to check on Rodriguez, who 8 hitters into the lineup. He has walked 2, and he's allowed a single and a homer.
And 8 hitters is all he will face. Andrew Kyle gives Rodriguez the hook, and he's going to send out a right-hander from the Heat bullpen. We'll have your punt 1-2-3 pitching change when we come back. Aces lead 2-1 in the bottom of the second.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation.
Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
Bark at the Park Day here at Melbourne Ballpark. One of my favorite baseball promotions. Anything that gets more dogs to the ballpark is a good thing for me. And a good thing for Aces fans and these dogs. It's a 2-1 Aces lead. Already a call to the bullpen. Brought to you by punt123.bet. Tom Bailey coming in for the first time this series.
Yeah, and I was just talking before the pitching change that the depth of this Perth pitching staff right now seems a little light. They went back to Jordan Power to continue his start when this game was when Game 3 of the series was resumed earlier today, and then starting Rodriguez, a reliever, here in Game 4. And like you mentioned, bullpen game already.
And almost all of the relievers have been used already in today's game, as Bailey misses inside to George Khalil for ball 1. You look at that last game. Power started. Daniel Schmidt, Connor Lowry, Junior William, and Jordan Martinson came in relief. And Bailey coming in a tough situation as Khalil grounds one foul, 1-1. And we're taking a look at the rest of the Heat roster with 4 already pitched. Neraldo Catalina's available. Gunnar Kynes might be a break glass in case of emergency scenario. Potentially the same for Brock Gilliam, although he just started on Friday. 1-1. Hit right back up the middle, past the glove of Bailey, and it misses the tag on Aiden Willis. That is going to load up the bases as B.J. Cook tries to tag Willis for a potential double play, but the ball squirts out of his glove.
Yeah, tough play right there with the runner coming in hard to second base, and for Cook having to try to make that tag and then also try to go to first. He didn't get any outs.
So that's going to be an E4, 4th of the calendar day, and first in this game for B.J. Cook. Whitefield hits that one sharply out to left field. Jumping catch for Hall, but that should be enough to score a run. Late throw home, the second run on a sacrifice fly as Matt O'Neill scores to make it 3-1 Aces.
Whitefield getting the job done, bringing home a run, and the Aces just continue to make it happen.
That run will be charged to Juan Rodriguez, who's also responsible for Aiden Willis on second base. 1 inning and a third for Rodriguez. 1 hit allowed, 2 walks, no strikeouts. 3 runs with a potential 4th sitting on second base. It's 3-1 Aces, and now Chris Burke gets his second at bat of the game with 2 on and 2 out. Bailey looks at second and deals. That's sliced high in the air, tailing towards foul territory. Caminero giving chase, but he loses the battle with the netting. It's an 0-1 to Burke, who grounded out to second back in the first inning. For Bailey, though, in his 7th year in the ABL, all of them with the Perth Heat. 46, now 47 career games, 30 starts, a 5.47 ERA, 9-11 record. 0-1. Burke slices it foul, and it's 0-2. His 2020 season was one of 2 that he had a double-digit ERA. Just 4 1/3 innings, but allowed 6 earned runs in 4 appearances. An 0-1 record, a 12.46 ERA in his last season. Burke lets one drop out of the zone, 1-2. And Burke, another young guy who the Aces have brought up through their system with great success. He's made a name for himself both here in Melbourne and on Team Australia. 1-2. That is hit in the air over the head of a leaping Caminero, and that's down for a base hit. Willis sprints around third base. He will score easily, and it's an RBI single for Chris Burke. The Aces piling it on 4-1 here in the second inning.
Chris Burke, a bat-to-ball guy, and is able to make things happen just by making contact right there. Didn't hit it hard. He just hit him where a fielder couldn't get to the ball. And with Willis's speed, no shot to get him at home.
So that closes the book on Juan Rodriguez, as the runners on second and first base are Bailey's responsibility. All 4 runs charged to Rodriguez. If the score holds, he'll get the loss. Now it's Glendening, who hits one sharply to short. Vasquez picks it up and fires to first to end the inning. But the Aces bring the hammer once again. 2 runs in that third inning on 2 hits, and they lead 2 on the base pass. We're through 2 innings here at Melbourne Ballpark. 4-1 Aces here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Top 3 now, leading off the berth is the centre fielder, Josh Reddick.
A beautiful day here at Melbourne Ballpark. 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings for the Aces. And now a former major leaguer leads off the third inning for Perth. Cody Mincy floats in a strike to make it 0-1 on Josh Reddick. Reddick, his first ABL home run in the earlier game, and now a 1-1 count. 0 for 1 in today's contest. Josh Sperber, Mike Marcantonini here as the Aces have a 4-1 lead in the third. Here's Mincy. Hard hit ball, foul. Count 1-2. Reddick 1 for 5 in yesterday/today's game. His one hit, though, a solo home run in the 7th inning. But the bottom half of that 7th, the Aces came roaring back and took the lead for good as he rolls this one foul down the first base line. But Reddick, you still have to say, has been such a positive addition to an already strong Heat lineup. The Aces, however, really seem to be taking advantage of it. 1-2. That's hit high in the air out to center field. Robson gets back on it, tiptoes the track to make the catch for out one.
Nice play by Robson. Had it the whole way, tracked it, knew where he was on the warning track in the wall. And to your point about Reddick, yeah, for Perth, you got a 3-4 hitter and a center fielder. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Not too much more, I got to say. But 0 for 2 in today's game, 2 flyouts. And that'll bring up Junior Caminero, who's had a nice run of games. You talked about Boyarsky as a candidate for hitter of the week. You got to put Caminero's up there as well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You could pick out of a hat from this series alone.
And Caminero fouls that off Matt O'Neill's mask. The home plate umpire, even Ian Gavin, checking to make sure he's all right. But O'Neill's a tough guy. He shakes that off pretty quickly. Take a closer look. Yeah, you can see the hit off the top of O'Neill's mask. One of the many reasons I would not want to be a catcher.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where it's just not fun.
I feel like that's one of them. Just a guess. Foul back, count 0-2.
I tell people all the time, like just playing catcher throughout my baseball career, it's a love-hate position. You know what I mean? Like there's some days where it's awesome. You know, I always love this strategy of being behind the plate. You're in every pitch, and you always have to be thinking.
And you really, not a lot of people see how much you dictate the outcome of the pitcher. As Caminero pops this one deep into right field. That's going to go towards right center, and it's Robson once again. Makes the catch for out number 2.
A good talk between Robson and Burke right there. Robson taking charge. But then on the flip side, you know, you're taking foul tips off the mask and off the chest protector. You get one off the wrist or the throwing hand. Blocking balls in the dirt, catching bullpens, wearing the gear in 95-degree weather, heat and humidity. I mean, you can stop me at any time. The list of cons, I mean, it's long. But
I want to hear all this, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's catching on hot days is tough. Catching on cold days is tough. But it is a really fun position to play when you're locked in and you have so much influence on the game.
And Mincy deals. The 1-0 is lined almost right at Robson. 3 up, 3 down, courtesy of Jacob Robson. 3 flyouts, 3 outs. Top of the third inning is over. We're heading to the bottom half. The Aces lead at 4-1 by 3 runs.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Couple of fans in the Cyclone tool shed enjoying, looks like they're enjoying some Brick Lane wobbly pops. 4-1 the lead, Melbourne over Perth, bottom of the third inning, and J.D. Osborne will lead off the bottom of the third. Breaking ball, misses low and in, count 1-0. Osborne a home run in his last at bat. He has been a certified run producer in this series. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. 4 RBIs, a season high by any Aces player this year. That was in game 1 of the series. And, of course, the solo home run makes 2. As he swings and misses at strike 2, 1-2 from Tom Bailey. Scored a run in Friday's game. So a runner and RBI in every game. And that is a nice way to start off an inning. Down the left field line, Robson guns his way to second. Head first, slide in time. And J.D. Osborne, a home run and then a double in his first 2 at-bats. Heck of a start on this series finale. Take a look at the All-Star Access Higher replay. Good speed out of the box from J.D. and that power swing firing on all cylinders. Roped a double down that left field line. 2 extra base hits to begin his day. That'll bring up Jared Dale, as Osborne's taking some time to adjust his equipment. He's on second base for Dale. The Aces have put 2 runs home in each of the first 2 innings, and once again, their leadoff man has ended up in scoring position. Dale 0 for 1. Oh, popped up to second his last time up, and that pitch, did that hit him? Because Robson moved to third base, and Dale had to dive to get out of the way of that inside fastball. I think it just bounced in front of home plate. Narrowly missed hitting Jared Dale, and we'll get a closer look here on the All-Star Access Higher replay. Yep, that ball very close to the face of Dale. Some matrix moves to get out of the way. Pull the bunt back in time as well, as that ball bounced out of the glove of Jake Bowie. So Dale's going to get himself some more pine tar. It's a 1-0 count to him, and now J.D. Osborne is on third base, 90 feet away from becoming the 5th run of the ballgame. Aces so far, 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors yet. They lead the Heat 1 run on 2 hits with 1 error. High breaking ball does not break for Bailey, and it's 2-0 to the Aces shortstop. Dale, a really solid middle infielder, plays mostly at second but can play shortstop as well. The pitch, swing and a miss. The low breaking ball makes it 2-1. The guy who has played for Melbourne since he was 16 years old. Earned some time with the Australian national team, also in the Padres system. Got as high as AAA El Paso with the Chihuahuas this year. 3-1 the count to Dale. He did spend most of his season with the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, the Padres' High A affiliate in the Midwest League. 3-1 on Dale with the infield in. Swing and a miss, and that breaking ball has fooled him twice in this at-bat. Tom Bailey gets the count to run full. A combined 13 years of ABL experience between the pitcher and the batter, all of them for the same team. Payoff pitch is hit into right field. Could be deep enough as it's caught. Osborne on his way home. The throw not in time. And J.D. Osborne stands up on a third sack fly, 5th run of the ball game. Melbourne is cruising on this round finale. 5-1 the score. The Aces have put one across in every single inning. So the first RBI of the year for Jared Dale. As we take a look on the All-Star Access Higher replay. Good opposite field power, and good throw or not, I don't think Ulrich Boyarsky would have got Osborne at home. Jacob Robson, I'm just messing everyone's names up today. Jacob Robson fouls the first pitch off. 1 out in the third. Aces lead is now 4. 0-1, catching the outside corner. Robson did not offer, and it's 0-2. 2 home runs for Robson this year, and he's reached base in every single game he's played in Aces uniform. That includes the 2 walks in the exhibition almost a month ago, as Ian Gavin is going to come all the way out to home plate or all the way out to the pitcher's mound and have a chat with Tom Bailey. Looks like he issued the dugout a warning. I guess Tom Bailey wasn't standing far back enough on the pitcher's mound. If you look at how he's set up, he's just got his heels on the mound. And now the pitch. 0-2, misses high and away. Count 1-2. Just wanted to make sure that he is on the rubber. You have to have part of your foot touching the pitching rubber when you get set. 1-2. Outside again, 2-2. Robson has really made his living here in Melbourne as an aggressive hitter, swinging a lot of pitches, but he's showcasing the patience in this at-bat. Gets behind 0-2, now works at 2-2. Wrapped foul, count will stay at 2-2. Robson had a solo homer that hit the scoreboard in the earlier game. There he swings and misses. The pitch gets way behind the dugout, so Robson's got a chance to extend the inning. But a good throw from Jake Bowie gets out number 2. So a drop third strike. Still begets the second out in the third inning. And now that'll bring up Matt O'Neill. O'Neill has now had 2 go-ahead hits for the Aces in their 6 games of action. The Aces 4-2 on the season, as the first pitch to O'Neill is hit high in the air out to right center field. Reddick eases under it and ends the inning. O'Neill kicking dirt because he knew he got just short of enough on that pitch. But the Aces still do some damage. They put a run across on 1 hit. Don't leave anyone on the bases, though. And we'll head into the 4th inning with a 4-run lead for Melbourne. 5-1 the score. Aussie Mike getting ready to take over the play-by-play for the next 3 innings.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking, and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Well, the Melbourne Aces are not taking it light and easy on the Perth pitching staff today. 4 home runs in the first game of the day for Melbourne, 1 so far in this Game 4, the second game of the day, Game 4 of the series. Cody Mincy back to work. Aces lead 5-1, top of the 4th. The 30-year-old right-hander delivers. Willis going back on this one, and that one is gone. Second homer of the day for Pete Kozma. He knew it. Slow trot around the bases for the former big league veteran. Second homer of the series, second homer of the day, second homer of his season.
Yeah, 2 runs for Perth in this game, both coming off of solo shots. Both no doubt home runs. Still got to give Mincy credit, though, pitching a solid game, but sometimes just 2 pitches in the wrong spot can lead to runs, especially with a lineup as strong as Perth's.
Mincy has the run support today. 5 runs of support, and we're only through 3 innings. On the flip side, Mincy, in his first start, did not get any runs of support. We'll take a look at this All-Star Access Higher replay. Fastball up and in, and Kozma's not going to miss that. Oh, bat goes flying here as Boyarsky loses it. Boyarsky lost one over the left field wall his first time up, his 3rd homer of the series. It was a solo shot leading off the 2nd, and now Kozma follows it up with a solo shot leading off the 4th.
You got to give Alex Hall some credit on that play. That ball glided down the netting, and he makes the one-handed catch. We'll see if our cameras have it on the All-Star Access Higher replay.
We do have the replay there. See if we can see Hall making the grab with the bat.
He's too far in the dugout. It happened, I promise.
Here's Boyarsky as Mincy tries to retire him for the first time today. 5-2 our score now. Aces still hold a 3-run advantage. Mincy has a really cool story of how he ended up in the Miami Marlins organization. He's pitched the last 2 years in the Marlins farm system. 4 years of independent ball before that. Undrafted, out of college, and signed with the Marlins in July of 2021. Cody picks up his 4th strikeout of the afternoon, 1 out in the 4th.
4 strikeouts in each of his first 2 games. And really, aside from those two home runs, Mincy's had another really solid start.
And Mincy, a 4.41 ERA, 7.6 Ks per 9 in 147 innings of work in 2 years in the Marlins farm system. Before that, when he was an independent ball, like I mentioned, where he started, pitched a few seasons in the Frontier League, also a year in the Atlantic League with the Long Island Ducks. His final 2 seasons in the Frontier League were with the River City Rascals, and he was the closer for that team. Pitch misses outside, 2-0. In 2017, he posted a 1.76 ERA and 11 saves for River City, and he followed that up in 2018 with a 2.20 ERA and 23 saves. Fly ball deep left center. Robson ranges back towards the track. He's on the track now, makes the grab shy of the wall, and Jacob Robson continues to play a really solid center field.
Yeah, he's just reaching everything. And that was a high arcing ball hit, sure, but Robson going into left center field to make that grab, that's his 4th put out of the day. All the other 3 came in the 3rd inning.
Mincy was approaching the 50 pitch mark in the 2nd inning. He's settled down since. And I just went through the numbers during his tenure with River City in the Frontier League as a closer. In the Marlins organization, he's mainly worked as a starter. 21 of his 35 games in the minors for Miami have come in a starting role. But a guy who can do it all. He can come out of the pen. He can be at the back end of the bullpen, or he can start for you. And that's huge versatility. We talked about the versatility with the position players, Josh, but Mincy's flexibility as a pitcher is huge.
And it's only natural when you look at really any major league team. You see a guy with a 5-pitch arsenal like Mincy has, a guy who's pitched in every area of the game and felt comfortable in all those spots. Why not make him a starter? Why not give a guy the ball for ideally half of the game?
5'11", 180, not a big frame, but he finds ways to get outs. You mentioned the 5-pitch arsenal that he has. Got the 4-seam and the 2-seam and then a cutter. So 3 hard pitches there that all 3 move in different directions. Got the slider and change. Played a big role in AA Pensacola's Southern League Championship this year. Mincy and his battery mate J.D. Osborne both a part of that championship-winning Pensacola squad. Mincy tossed 3 scoreless innings in relief of Game 2 of the championship series that Pensacola won, and then Pensacola a blowout Game 3 win to clinch the title, and that clinches strikeout number 5 for Cody Mincy. 2 strikeouts in the inning. He works after a leadoff home run to go strikeout, flyout, strikeout, and the inning is over. Mincy's through 4 innings of 2-run ball. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-2 Aces lead on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South.
I thought we were going to have actual dogs in the field for this.
Horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section
Yeah, those people in the back
with a
aren't
full
even
range
trying.
of quality options.
Lame.
All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Bottom 4 at Melbourne Ballpark. Aiden Willis just fouled off a 1-0 pitch, so the count is 1-1 on the Aces left fielder. It's the Aces 5 and the Heat 2. Aces looking to take 3 of 4 from the Heat in round 2 of the ABL season. Willis fights another one off foul. It's 1-2. Willis, Khalil, and Whitefield 8-9-1 against reliever Tom Bailey, who took over and got the final 2 outs of the second inning. Gave up a run in the third, and he's back for the 4th. Juan Rodriguez started for the Heat and gave up 4 runs, all earned in an inning and a third. It was a bullpen game for the Heat from the start. They didn't expect to have to go to the pen as early as they did, as Rodriguez got just 4 outs. The Aces looking to score for the 4th straight inning. They got 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 more in the third. The Heat have single runs, both on solo homers in the 2nd and 4th. Next pitch from Bailey. Willis sends one in the air, left field. Hall is over, and the catcher playing outfield makes the grab.
And the Heat have to be really pleased that they're getting so many innings out of Bailey, because I don't know how many pitchers they have left. They have used every pitcher on their roster except for Warwick Saupold. And I'm not sure he's with the team because he was not on the sheet given to us by Andrew Kyle. I know with a couple of those pitchers, Juan Rodriguez actually really broke the rule that we saw from the Rays minor league system.
When George Khalil gets drilled by a pitch there around the hand-wrist area, take a look at the replay and see where he got hit.
It definitely got that front arm, came up wincing. And yeah, right on the wrist in his left hand. Looks like he's being checked out just to make sure he can still certainly run with it, but glove hand's kind of important.
Yeah, that's one way to get on base and not the way he wanted it to happen. Another replay here, a little bit slower, and yeah, right on that hand. And, you know, you never want it to be a finger because the fingers can break so easily. And if, obviously the wrist, you don't want it there either. And wrist injury is tough to come back from. Looks like he's all right. Line drive, base hit into center field. Aaron Whitefield, another hit. It's his first hit of this game, but he did some damage in the first game of the day.
And he's been productive. He scored on a sacrifice fly, stole a base, and walked in his first at-bat. Hit a sacrifice fly in his second at-bat, and now he's finally on base with a single. Really good game for Aaron Whitefield, following up one where he hit his first home run as a member of the Aces.
Yeah, first official at-bat of this game for Aaron. Here's Chris Burke. Bloop single just into the outfield grass his last time up over the head of the third baseman, Caminero. He got jammed on it and just fought it off into left field. Rips at the first pitch. That one's fouled down the first base line. 1 out in the inning, 2 on. Aces looking to extend their 5-2 lead.
But I want to go back to the pitching conundrum of the Heat that we were talking about, because I don't know how many more guys they have available after Bailey in the pen. You go down the roster, you had 4 guys pitch already in the third game of this series. That was Jordan Power, who started, pitched both yesterday and today. Daniel Schmidt, Connor Lowry, Junior Williams, and Jordan Martinson.
This one gets away from Bowie. Both runners move up. Now runners at second and third for Burke.
That's going to be a wild pitch on Tom Bailey. Second of the day for him. And then for the rest of the pitchers, the Rays don't like using their pitchers more than once in a series. I'm surprised enough that they used Juan Rodriguez twice already. But he went out, so you got to figure the next guy up might be Geraldo Catalina, who went 2/3 of an inning in Game 1.
Infield comes in all the way around for Perth. And for as deep as the lineup is, and you go 1 through 9 in the batting order, and there are some tough outs in the Perth lineup, the pitching is what has hurt them later on in this series. Now the starters have done a great job.
Yeah, you had Gunnar Kynes and Brock Gilliam pitch 2 of the best starts that we've seen.
Burke lines one down the left field line, a fair ball. Khalil will score easily. Here comes Whitefield. Burke digging for second. It's a 2-run, 2-bagger with swagger for Chris Burke, and the Aces are pouring it on. It's 7-2 in the fourth.
Yeah, Khalil just walked home, and Aaron Whitefield turning on the Jets, getting himself home on the double. Burke having himself a nice day. 2 for 3, 3 RBIs for the right fielder for the Aces, and they are trying to win this series in style.
Something about whenever a game gets suspended for the Aces here, the momentum just flips that next day.
Yeah, both times on rain suspended games, they go into the last day of the series losing, but they end up coming back, and if the score holds, that second game looks like it's going to be another big one. It was 6-3 last Monday in the end of the series.
Swing and a miss from Glendening, but the ball gets through the legs of Bowie, and Burke moves up to third.
Yeah, third wild pitch of the game for Tom Bailey, by the way. But it was 6-3, and the only reason that Geelong got those 3 runs is because they had maybe the hottest hitter in the league right now, Song Chan-Oy, come up. He had that 3-run home run off McGraw. But it just looks like those extra games do big things for Melbourne.
Glendening out to deep right. That's deep enough to score Burke. And the throw goes back into the infield. It's 8-2 now. 3 runs here in the fourth for the Aces. They've gone 2-2-1-3, scoring multiple runs in 3 of the 4 innings.
They're just eating up this Heat pitching like some light and easies. Robbie Glendening, his second sacrifice fly of the game. You know, he's technically got 3 outs in his 3 plate appearances, but 2 of them are productive. 2 ribbies for Robbie Glendening. First time he's driven in runs as a member of the Aces.
4 sacrifice flies in 4 innings for Melbourne. Now this one's ripped into the left field corner. J.D. Osborne looking for his second extra base hit of the day. Here's the throw into the infield. Osborne slides in safely. The second double of the inning for the Aces, and Osborne's 2 for 2.
His last two at-bats have looked scarily similar. Just stroked some doubles down that left field line. And in that left field bullpen, you have Geraldo Catalina warming up, who the Aces got the better of in game 1 of that series. And J.D. Osborne, how about his day? A home run and 2 really well-hit doubles.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3, not 2 for 2. And all 3 hits for extra bases. So the line keeps moving. Here's Jared Dale, the 7th man to hit in the inning. And there's 2 down.
And the Heat still really trying to extend Bailey. We might see Catalina for the 5th. But there doesn't appear to be any urgency in his warm-up. They're trying to get as much life out of Bailey as they can.
Pitch on the outer half to Dale's called strike. 1-1. 8-2 Aces. 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors. 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for Perth. Remember, this is a 7-inning game here in the finale of this 4-game series. Fly ball left field and deep. Hall goes back, but he'll just turn and watch it fly. Fire me up, Jared Dale. A 2-run shot, 5 runs in the inning for the Aces. Double digits for the Aces as well. It's 10-2 in the 5th.
Whole lot of firsts in this series. Jared Dale going yard for the first time this season, and that ball was crushed. Melbourne pouring it on. They have a 5-run inning in both games today. And what a way to finish off this series.
The 3rd extra base hit of this inning alone. Here's Jacob Robson, who had 3 hits in Game 3, which was the first game of today. First pitch from Bailey, who's taking a beating out there, but like you mentioned, Josh, there's not really anybody else to turn to right now.
Yeah, just a thin bullpen because the Aces have really gotten to this Perth pitching staff.
On the ground to second, handled by Cook over to Cosma, and the inning is finally over. But the Aces send 8 to the plate. They score 5 more times. They've scored in every inning so far today. 10 runs on 8 hits for the Aces. They lead it by 8. We head to the top of the 5th after this on the Aces TV network. Dental has delivered the best results through continually updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team also take great pride in treating patients like family. Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth with Hobson's Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's West and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap into a wealth of resources and to join a winning team. There are a lot of interesting spots to take in a game here at Melbourne Ballpark, and recently our own Ed Wyatt did a bit of exploring. Take a look at his visit to the Cyclone Tool Shed down the third base line. Damn, I am fired up today. This is a lot of fun.
This is the Cyclone Tool Shed. There aren't any rakes here, but there's food, there's drink, and there's a great place to watch a game. You got picnic tables. You can see the visiting team and give them a bad time, keeping it clean, of course. But you got bean bags where you can chill out. In fact, those bean bags looking pretty good. I might head down there myself. I think this Cyclone Tool Shed is going to work out just fine. As you can see, many places to watch a ball game here at Melbourne Ballpark. melbourneaces.com.au. Check it out. See you at the ballpark.
Slugfest in Melbourne this afternoon. The Aces put up 4 home runs in the first game of the day. They scored 8 times to win 8-6 in Game 3 of this series. Well, the Bats did not get put away for the series finale. 10 runs on 8 hits in just 4 innings for the Aces as Cody Mincy goes back to work with plenty of run support. Aussie Mike and Josh Sperber in the booth. Josh, the Aces sent 8 to the plate and scored 5 times in that 4th inning. J.D. Osborne doubled for his 3rd extra base hit of the afternoon. Chris Burke plated 2 with a double. And Jared Dale, his first home run of the season, a 2-run shot over the left field wall.
Yeah, and there it is on the Access Higher replay. No doubter. Just kept speeding up, left center field gap, and Dale knew it as soon as he hit it. And just, you got to look at the numbers by each inning for Melbourne. 2 runs on a hit in the first, 2 runs on 2 hits in the second, a run on a hit in the third, 5 runs on 4 hits in the fourth. It has just been an absolutely dominant show of offense for the Melbourne Aces today.
And broadcasters dream getting all this action to call.
Oh yeah, there's no seconds off out here.
It's been a really fun day.
Yeah.
Dealt with a lot of rain last night. We sat around for an hour and 45 minutes. We only saw 30 minutes of game action. And today, quick turnaround, a lot of baseball out there, and it's been fun the entire way.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say the Aces are just hitting out their frustration with the rain. Absolutely crushing the baseball today.
Yeah, they came out ready. They really did. Taking advantage of a depleted Perth pitching staff. And on the other side, this Aces pitching staff has gotten the job done. Mincy's next pitch, fouled back. So the leadoff man, Tim Kennelly, fighting strong here. He's 1 for 2 with a stolen base and a single.
Yeah, Perth really battling. Jeremy Young up in the Aces bullpen. I wouldn't be surprised if Mincy went the distance in the 7-inning game.
Yeah, and I know from our experience in the minors, Josh, when on doubleheader days when the games are 7 innings, it just shortens the game for the starting pitcher and helps you save your bullpen. And a lot of times, if a guy's going strong, if he's quick through 5 or 6, they just let the guy finish it out, knowing that it's not a 9-inning game. Let's save the bullpen altogether if we can. Ground ball to third. Glendinning has it on the backhand over to first. Easy put out, 5-3 to start the 5th.
The one issue with saving the bullpen is that Mincy's gone 86 pitches. Not to say he hasn't done a good job. He has certainly earned any kind of rest. But obviously you want to save the bullpen if you can, even if it's on a getaway day like today, when you have 3 more days before a Thursday start to next week's round in Adelaide for the Aces.
Mincy got through 4 innings with 78 pitches. He's smelling that win right now. He knows he just has to get through this 5th to qualify for it. This one's driven out to deep left. Willis goes back, and that one sails over the wall. 3rd home run of the game for the Heat. But the Aces with a 10 spot on the board. Not too worried about that one. And also not worried because it's just the 3rd solo homer of the day.
Yeah, 3 hits, 4 home runs for Perth. You got to give Mincy credit. 0 hits recorded by the Heat with a runner on base.
Home runs hurt, but solo home runs do not kill you.
Now batting for Perth, center fielder Josh Reddick.
So obviously, Mincy would have liked to keep all 3 of those balls in the ballpark, but each time he's allowed a home run, he's come right back and shut it down. So a 10-3 score now. A lot of runs on the board today, and I got to make another tally on my home run tracker. I'm behind on that.
I don't think anyone blames you for that. There have been a whole lot of home runs hit.
I'll say our guy Tony up here in the booth called it when he told me yesterday that we were going to have. He didn't. I mean, he said it was going to be high scoring in the like 18-16, something like that. But haven't had that. This one's a little more lopsided. But he knew the ball was going to fly today. 0-2 pitch, tap foul, and Reddick stays alive. Reddick had hit 250 home runs in his professional career before his late inning homer earlier today in the suspended game. Takes a pitch on the outer half. It's 1-2.
His first home run in the ABL, though, I mean, a first home run in any league, doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, the first always feels good.
Wonder if he's going to go get that ball. First homer in the ABL.
I'm going to guess no.
He's probably got enough framed baseballs back home.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a whole house full of them.
There's a lot of baseballs out beyond the left field wall today, especially. A couple out in left center, one in right. Fly ball sinking quickly, but that's not dropping with Aiden Willis out there. It's out number 2.
Yeah, the only thing you're going to see drop is you're going to see go into Aiden Willis's glove. Great speed, great range, no matter where you put him in the outfield. And it's another real addition. Burke might be more of a corner guy, but you still have Robson and Willis who just have such great range no matter where you put them.
And especially the way the ball's flying today with the wind, outfield defense is even more important. Huge cut there from Junior Caminero, and that one got a piece of Matt O'Neill. Well, Caminero was swinging for the downs there. Somebody might want to tell him he doesn't need to swing that hard for it to get out on a day like today.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll go tell him.
He parked one last night. He got the homer party started with a second inning 2-run shot. He got a hanging curveball from Kyuta Kazama. Takes a fastball from Mincy over for a strike.
He's a guy that if you make a mistake, he's going to make it pay for it in a long distance kind of way.
0-2 just got a piece of it there. Caminero 0 for 1. He walked in the first inning today. The Heat have scored in 3 of their 5 innings at the plate. The Aces have scored in all 4 of theirs. 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, deep right center field. Robson on the run, and he makes the grab shy of the track. Jacob Robson continues to play a stellar center field, and the inning is over. 1 run on a solo home run from Vasquez. No errors, no one left on. Mincy's through 5. He can get the win now. 10-3 Aces after 4.5. Bottom 5 next on the Aces TV network.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Aussie Mike and Josh Sperber with you live from Melbourne Ballpark. 10-3 Aces as we open play in the bottom of inning number 5. Home runs have been the story all day long. The day started at 11 a.m. local time with the final 7.5 innings of play of Game 3 of this series, which started last night, was suspended because of rain. We picked it up today. The Aces trailed 4-0 in the top of the second inning. They came back to win 8-6. Shout out to the bullpen and the bats for getting it done in that game. And here in Game 4, the regularly scheduled game of the day at Melbourne Ballpark, The Aces have not stopped hitting. 10 runs on 8 hits, just 3 runs on 4 hits for Perth. All 3 of Perth's runs have come on solo home runs. Cody Mincy, 5 innings of 3-run ball. He's looked really good on the mound, and he now qualifies for the win after getting through his 5th inning on the mound. The Aces have scored in all 4 of their innings at the plate so far, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 5 in inning number 4. The Heat lead the home run slugfest in this one 3-2, but the Aces home runs have meant just a little bit more with guys on base, and Josh, they're doing it with more than just a long ball.
Yeah, I mean, small ball, long ball, any way you slice it, the Aces are just absolutely mashing against Perth tonight. And now they've got Geraldo Catalina, who's got really good stuff, but struggled to find the plate in his last appearance against Melbourne.
So a punt 1-2-3 pitching change. Here is Geraldo Catalina. Like Josh said, did not have it in game 1 of this series. He came into the game with the Heat leading 2-0 and had a rough outing. Only recorded, I don't think he recorded any outs in that game. I got to double check. It was 2 outs. Okay, so he did record 2 outs. He just couldn't get through a full inning.
Yeah, 2 outs, 2 walks, and was responsible for those 2 runs as well.
So Matt O'Neill, Aiden Willis, and George Khalil. 7, 8, 9. O'Neill takes outside. Count swells to 3-2.
The first time the Aces have reached double-digit runs this season, though. I mean, really just, they've been firing on all cylinders. There's no other way around it.
O'Neill walks, and Catalina picks up where he left off. The control issues still there.
Already getting a mound visit from Willie Vasquez, a guy he's quite close with, both coming up in the Rays system. And once again, just a leadoff walk to start his appearance out of the bullpen. Could mean trouble.
Aces looking to make it 5 innings in a row with a run on the board. Willis has had a nice day. Walked and scored a run in this game. And earlier today, homered and doubled. He has scored 3 runs in the 2 games today combined. His first homer of the season. He now has 3 extra base hits on the year. Well, this is exactly how the Aces wanted to finish off round 2 as they get ready to head to Adelaide for round 3 this coming Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, barring a collapse, really, the Aces will take home a first full series, as they did have a game taken away by rain against Geelong.
Well, that's ball 4 to Willis. He walks on 4 pitches. 2 on for the 9-hole hitter, George Khalil.
And Catalina and the Heat do not have the luxury of pulling him early. Andrew Kyle was able to get him early on after just 4 batters in the first game of that series. But as we've talked about, Mike, there's just not enough arms left in the bullpen for Perth. They certainly don't want to use one of their starters to finish out this game. So they're hoping that Catalina can find his control and really showcase some of his stuff, like that 90-mile-an-hour slider we just saw.
Khalil was hit on the hand his last time up. Looks like he's all right since he stayed in the game. Called strike on the outer half from Catalina. It's 0-2.
And this is the kind of stuff that the Rays want to see from Geraldo Catalina, one of their exciting young pitching prospects, and certainly the Heat. And this was more of what we saw in his first 2 relief outings in the Heat's opening round.
Khalil spoils 1 foul. Count stays where it is. Well, I mentioned the Aces will head to Adelaide for round 3. First road series of the season for Melbourne. This coming Thursday through Sunday, November 24th to 27th. But then after that, the Aces are right back home to open the month of December. Kind of crazy we're almost in December, Josh, but December 1st through 4th, Thursday to Sunday, the Aces are back here at Melbourne Ballpark for round 4. You can find your tickets at melbourneaces.com.au. 0-2, Khalil chases. That's out number 1 of the inning. That's just the second strikeout for Perth pitching today.
Yeah, and a good at bat from Catalina. Got everything over the plate enough, or at least close enough to get Khalil to offer. I think it would have been a ball if Khalil hadn't went for the slider, but something that goes that hard in and out like that, just a sharp cut, that's not easy to go up against.
Called strike to Aaron Whitefield. He's done something productive in all 3 of his plate appearances today. Walk and a stolen base in the first. Scored the first run of the day for the Aces. Now he hits a ground ball up the middle. Cook has it, steps on second, throws to first, and it's a 4-3 inning-ending double play. So for the first time today, the Aces do not score in an inning. They go quietly through 5 full. It's 10-3 Melbourne. Top 6 after this on the Melbourne Aces TV network.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
It's all Aces today. 10-3 in the finale of this 4-game round 2 of the ABL season. 10 runs on 8 hits for Melbourne, 3 runs on just 4 hits for Perth. 5 home runs in this game, 3 solo shots for the Heat, and 2 long balls for the Aces. A solo shot from J.D. Osborne and a 2-run shot off the bat of Jared Dale. Jeremy Young on for the 6th. Cody Mincy's afternoon is finished. 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. And the first batter that Jeremy Young faces sends one to deep center. Jacob Robson can't get it. It's over his head off the wall. And it's a stand-up double for Alex Hall to start the 6th.
Yeah, not sure if it was lost in the sun there, but that was also just hit really hard and almost straight up. Almost 370 feet exactly, hit to dead center. And a rare hit off of Jeremy Young. He has come in to replace Mincy and been nothing short of spectacular out of the pen for the Aces this season.
No earned runs in 7 innings of work. 2 runs have scored against him, but they were both inherited runners in extra innings, the placed runners with the international tiebreaker rule. Those are the only 2 that have scored in 7 frames for Young. He's been excellent. 3 shutout innings earlier this series, Josh.
Yeah, probably at least in the early goings in the year. Obviously, this is just game number 8 for this season, but so far, I would say Young is the most reliable pitcher the Aces have had.
Missed is there. I don't know where that one missed, but it did. Final line on Cody Mincy. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. Did give up 3 home runs, but all solo shots. He threw 99 pitches, 63 for strikes. Here's a deep fly ball to left center. Cosma knows that one will stay in the yard. Catch is made by Robson. Throw goes to third. Tag applied, safe. Hall just gets in. Yeah, like you said, Josh, not by much. He just got in there.
Yeah, Robson very close to getting what would have been an impressive double play. That was deep in left center field. And Hall beat that by millimeters. Really close play. As we'll take a look on the All-Star Access Higher replay. Good piece of hitting by Cosma, but just too strong in the outfield. And Robson made a good throw, but just enough speed from Alex Hall to keep that from becoming an impressive double play.
Man on third with one out in the top of the sixth. 2-0 the count on Ulrich Bojarski. Next one from Young, breaking ball sent back, and it's 2-1.
And Young, a guy who could certainly eat any innings out of this Melbourne Aces pen. 4 pitches for him, 2-seam fastball, slider, a curve, and a change. That fastball-slider combo, like we've seen with a lot of these Aces pitchers, though, is just deadly.
Goes to the slider again and misses outside, 3-2. And the payoff pitch misses. Another one that was close. I think he got squeezed a little bit there. So runners at the corners now, and at least now the double play's in order.
And Young's no stranger to that. He had a couple of really key defensive plays in his first outing against Geelong in that 13-inning game, including a 5-2-3 double play that stopped a very promising Korean scoring chance.
Young will look at both runners on base. First pitch to Jake Bowie, the catcher. One's over. Bowie walked his first time up, flew out to center his last time. Seven-inning game here today for the finale of this series. It was shortened from 9 to 7 innings because the suspended game from last night had to be finished today. Hard hit ground ball through into right field. And the 4th run of the day comes in for the Heat. It's an RBI single for Jake Bowie. That brings up the 9-hole hitter B.J. Cook with 2 on and just 1 down.
That was not only the first run not caused by a long ball, but also the first hit that the Heat have had with runners on base. So give the Aces pitching staff some credit. They have really done a good job of limiting some of the damage.
The Young looks to work through this 6th. Next pitch fouled off. A 1 that's down. Well, Josh, looking ahead to the series in Adelaide, you got to like what you're seeing on both sides of the baseball for the Aces. You know, offensively, pitching, and then, of course, defense as well.
Yeah, I mean, any way you slice it, the Aces are playing like they are one of the best teams in the league, and you certainly have to give them some respect as they are the back-to-back champions. But, you know, the hitting could be a little bit more consistent, but you really have to be kind of nitpicking, splitting hairs to say that the Aces aren't one of the best teams in every aspect of the game.
Well, the Adelaide Giants sit at 3-4 coming into today. The Aces, with a win here in this one, would move to 5-2. As Jeremy Young picks up the strikeout, good slider on the outer half, and he freezes Cook.
Back to the top of the order for Perth, and designated hitter Tim Kennelly.
Well, this is a Perth team that took 3 of 4 from Adelaide at home in round 1. And now the Aces, if this score holds out, will take 3 of 4 from Perth. Young's next pitch, that misses on the outer half. Steady diet of breaking balls as Tim Kennelly gets set for another AB. A lot of dogs in attendance today. Good crowd on hand for today's Bark at the Park event. Always good to see dogs at the ballpark, Josh.
Really anywhere. No one's wanted to bring their dogs up in the booth. I would have liked to have Ace as a color commentator. I think he'd provide some really incisive points about baseball.
We're really spoiled having Ace and Max around the ballpark all the time. Always a couple doggos walking around the ballpark, and Ace is almost like a second mascot for the Aces. He's here so much, helping out with the field work as well, right by Mick's side.
Oh, man, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Mick Wern in keeping the field nice, but we all know we couldn't do it without Ace walking right next to him. One of the best people on the grounds crew I've ever seen.
It's a team effort.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool to just see Ace chilling out there when Mick's, fixing the mound and Ace is just a few feet away, just chilling behind home plate, and Mick's working on the plate,
rolling around in the turf.
And then, of course, assistant GM Luke Surley's dog, Max. Just a puppy, but having him around the ballpark's really cool, too.
Two really friendly dogs, just always happy. And they really keep the vibes good around the office here.
Can really tell when there's food around. Like, if they're hanging around somebody, that person probably has food.
Yep.
Young has his pitch lined down the left field line, but foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
It's why I'm eating so much. I just want to, have Ace and Max around all the time.
Need an excuse to get the dogs to come to you. Well, there's been a couple times where I've been eating lunch before a game, and I'll be walking back to eat it, from the microwave, and Ace or Max will smell it, and they'll follow me, and they'll just kind of sit there waiting for some food. 2-2, swing and a miss. Jeremy Young, 2 punch-outs in the 6th. He does allow a run on an RBI single from Jake Bowie, but that's it. Aces still hold a 6-run lead, 10-4. We go to the bottom of the 6th after this on the Aces TV network.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
It's been a long day of baseball here at Melbourne Ballpark, but it's been a really fun one. 8 runs for the Aces in the first game of the day, 10 so far in the second game of the day. The Aces looking to make it 2 straight wins to finish off a series win here in round 2. The Aces took game 1 of round 2 on Thursday night. They drew 2 on Friday night. Last night's game 3 was suspended until this morning. It was picked up around 11 a.m. local time. The Aces a comeback win 8-6, and now up 10-4 here in the bottom of inning number 6 in this one. Aussie Mike and Josh Sperber with you on the call as the Aces look to put the finishing touches on another win. If they hold on, it'll be their 5th win in 7 games. As the 2-hole hitter Chris Berg steps to the plate. There's room for more runs here, Josh, with 3 more outs in this 6th inning, huh?
With this lineup, always.
Geraldo Catalina back to work, and he misses way inside, 1-0.
And Burks put in 30% of those runs in this game here, not to mention the opposite field home run in the continuation of Game 3 of the round, but an RBI single, 2 RBIs on a double in the fourth. He is having a really nice day of baseball.
Member of the Philadelphia Phillies organization over in the United States. Just finished up his second go-around as a member of the Phillies. Spent the year at Low A Clearwater down in Florida. Looking to work his way up. Catcher converted to an outfielder. I was talking to Chris about that the other day. He said he caught his whole life and said now it's kind of nice just having to grab his bat and his glove and his batting gloves when he's going to the field instead of having to lug that catcher's gear everywhere. And he takes ball 4.
He's reached base 3 of the 4 times he's come to the plate. Had a nice day, and yeah, I think the switching to outfield, just less wear and tear on him, is really helping him out in the batter's box as well. You can tell he's really just secure, has a nice strong stance when he's in the batter's box.
Yeah, he's got the average up at 292, and the on-base percentage even higher now after that last walk. Well, here's Robbie Glendinning, who's driven in his first 2 runs of the season with sac flies in the first and fourth innings today. Next one from Robbie. It's over for a strike. It's 0-2. Next one from Catalina in the dirt, stopped by Bowie. You know, I was doing some digging looking at Robbie Glendinning's game log from his 2019 season when we were both in Altoona, me calling games, him playing in the games. And I knew that there was a stretch where he just absolutely balled out, and I found a stretch in late June. He was on a 7-game hitting streak in which he had 4 multi-hit games during that stretch. Well, he made his presence known that season in Altoona, and like I said, he's hit everywhere he's been. But in that 7-game hitting streak from June 24th through June 29th of that year, in the hit column he went 3-1, 2-2, 1-3-1. He fouls one back.
And you throw this around a lot when we talk about Jacob Robson, but you got to put Robbie Glendinning in the category of professional hitter as well. A guy through multiple years in the ABL, consistently an average over 300, an on-base percentage over 400, and slugging percentage over 500. That's elite.
No question about that as he heads back to the dugout. Backwards K in the book as Catalina picks up his second strikeout. Here's J.D. Osborne, who's had a perfect day. Solo homer to dead center in the first, doubled and scored in the third, doubled and scored in the fourth as well. Takes a first pitch strike. Well, he's had a lot of success over the last few games, really swinging the bat well.
He's reached base in almost every game this season as well.
Sends one out to deep center field once again. Reddick is back at the track, makes the grab right in front of that 370 sign. And for the first time today, Osborne's retired.
Yeah, that was probably hit 360 feet. Reddick was not too far off of the base of that center field wall. Osborne has just been crushing the baseball today.
Yeah, all 4 times he's come up, he's driven the ball deep and hit it with authority. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Jared Dale, the shortstop. First pitch called strike. Dale not so sure about it. Dale homered to left his last time up, a 2-run shot to cap off that 5-run fourth. First homer of the season for Jared and his second hit overall. He's driven in 3 today, just like Chris Burke has. Dale, one of the 4 sacrifice flies. He hit a sac fly to right in the 3rd inning. One pitch from Catalina. Catalina going to that breaking ball quite a bit, Josh, and I got to believe that's just his get-me-over pitch right now since the fastball doesn't have much command.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of the young flamethrowers have, just difficulty controlling that fastball. And I saw in Bowling Green when he was with the Hot Rods, you know, he obviously wants to come out firing, especially since he can hit triple digits on the gun with his fastball. But he lowered the velocity down, got down to 98, 97 as opposed to around 100 when he was starting out. And it's gotten even lower here, but the control has been better. So I think it's just a matter of taking off some velocity, get better control, and then once he's got the command back up to where he'd like it to be, he could start rationing up the velo. But the breaking stuff has looked as good as I've ever seen it.
Burke will be off on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As the Aces look to extend their lead. Ball 4. So they won't extend the lead there, but the inning will be extended. Another walk for Catalina. Second of the inning and 4th of his afternoon. Here's Jacob Robson. He's 0 for 3 in this one. 3 hits earlier in the day. Quick chat on the mound as Catalina looks for the final out of the 6th. And then the Aces will have a chance to close it out in the 7th.
And that's the pitching coach that's out there talking to Geraldo Catalina. Robson, this right now is in the only game of his Aces career where he has not reached base. So he's certainly looking to get on the base pass. And the Heat had Connor Lowry throwing some warm-up pitches in their left field bullpen. But I think they're just trying to have a chat with Catalina, make sure he's in the right spot, and really just needs the one more out, because unless the Heat have an offensive explosion, it's going to be the Aces cruising in the top of that 7th.
Catalina at 35 pitches, 17 strikes. Make it 36, and still 17 strikes. Misses inside to Robson. Oh, big cut there. Robson comes up empty. 5 different Aces have a hit in this game. Osborne has 3, Burke has 2, Whitefield, Dale, and O'Neill each have 1. 7 different Aces have scored a run. Only Robson and Glendinning have not scored. Burke at second, Dale at first. 1-1, fouled back, it's 1-2.
And Glendinning might not have scored, but he's driven into. Really, the entire Aces team has had a go-around in this contest. And if I'm Peter Moylan, I'd be very happy with the state of the Melbourne Aces heading into their first road round of the season.
Robson fouls one off. If things hold out, the Aces will be 5-2 heading into that road series with Adelaide. It's Adelaide on the road, then back home from Brisbane, December 1st to 4th, and back on the road, Auckland and Geelong for rounds 5 and 6. Robson takes. Well, after this game's complete, Josh, 40% of the home games this season for the Aces will be done.
Can we just get some more? Like, it's not enough.
Try to tack on a few playoff games.
Oh, yeah.
Robson takes inside. It's 3-2. And that's the goal. We could get some back here on the back end.
I know seeing that ring ceremony was certainly kind of motivating for us. That's something that we want to have a lot more of, and these Aces players seem equally motivated to get a ring of their own.
No doubt. 3-2, 2-out pitch, misses ball 4. And I got to believe that will be it for Geraldo Catalina. Here comes Andrew Kyle. And Josh, you mentioned Connor Lowry was throwing. He tossed earlier today. And that's where the Perth pitching depth is at, that they got to go to somebody who's already pitched today.
Yeah, quite literally today. But a solid outing for Catalina. The the only Heat pitcher that hasn't allowed a run. So Andrew Kyle and the Heat have to be pleased with his effort, as it looks like that's Connor Lowry coming in from the Heat left field bullpen.
So we'll take a quick break here on the broadcast. Keep it locked. 10-4 Aces. Stay right here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Another punt 1-2-3 pitching change here in Melbourne, as Connor Lowry is on to try to get the final out of the bottom of the sixth. Geraldo Catalina walked 5 and struck out 2 in his inning and 2/3 of work. Just trying to eat up innings for this Perth pitching staff. Bases loaded for Matt O'Neill. First pitch to O'Neill misses high, 1-0. Aces with 10 runs already in this game. It looks like this will be their last go-around at the plate. They can close it out in the top of the 7th. 1-0 to Matt, make it 2-0.
And nowhere to put O'Neill for Lowry in the Perth Heat. Geraldo Catalina hasn't allowed a run yet, but all 3 runners on base are his responsibility.
Juan Rodriguez started, got 4 outs. Tom Bailey ate up some innings, and then Catalina. 2-0. That's over for a strike. O'Neill's hit the ball hard all day. 2-run single that proved to be the game-winning hit earlier, and then in this game he has a single and a walk. And now he'll hit with a 3-1 count. This day of baseball started at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're past the 4 o'clock hour now. 3-1. And it's a called strike, and I think everybody knows that was ball 4, but what are you going to do?
Certainly seems like that. 7 walks already for the Heat pitching staff, 5 of them coming at the hands of Geraldo Catalina.
Here's the payoff pitch. O'Neill fouls one back, and the inning continues. See, O'Neill just kind of looked back and was like, I don't know about that.
As a catcher, I feel like that is the worst position to be when it comes to being at the plate, because if you argue calls with the umpire, you're not going to get those.
Yeah.
Those close ones.
Got to walk a fine line. 3-2, 2-out pitch once again, and this time it's ball 4. Run number 11 comes in for the Aces. Chris Berg touches home plate for the second time today, and Matt O'Neill picks up another RBI.
Yeah, 2 straight walks. This one, an RBI walk.
It's the 4th walk of the inning. So here's Aiden Willis. He'll hit with the bases loaded. Pops one up right side. And the first baseman, Cosma, is there to make the grab. So the Aces add another run on the bases loaded walk to Matt O'Neill, but that's it. 11-4 through 6. 3 outs to play with. Aces with a chance to close it out. Back to Josh with the play-by-play after this on the Aces TV network.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Dogs and fans running on the field in our Diamond Dash. And they might be dashing right towards the exits after this one. The final inning of the second game of the second round. The last day of said round, Aces versus Heat, will be a 7-inning ball game coming on the heels of that continuing affair from last night. 8-6 in the early game, and in game number 2, it is currently 11-4 Aces in the lead with what could be our final punt 1-2-3 pitching change of the evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it. Steve Kent will come on in relief of Jeremy Young, who went an inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. First, Steve Kent, a guy who spent much of the early part of his career with the Canberra Cavalry. He now joins the defending champion Melbourne Aces in his first season here in Melbourne, in his third relief appearance as he gets a first pitch swinging strike to Willie Vasquez, who homered his last time up, 1 for 3 on the day. Kent, 4 innings of work, 1 save and 1 opportunity, 1 run allowed on a solo homer, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts in 4 innings of work. He's working quickly on Vasquez, number 8 prospect in the Rays system, and he wears number 8 for the Perth Heat. And the lefty has the 0-2. Called strike 3. Sends a fastball right down the pipe. And that is his 7th strikeout as a member of the H's pitching staff. Second time Vasquez has gone down looking. And the Aces are 2 outs away from a second consecutive round victory. 2-1 over Geelong. They will have a game made up when the Aces visit Geelong in a couple of weeks. Now it's Josh Reddick in a left-on-left battle. Lifted high in the air out to left center field. Drifting all the way to left where Aiden Willis makes the easy grab for the second out of the inning. Make sure to stick with us after this game. Michael Mark Antonini will be on the field with a member of the Melbourne Aces for a post-game interview with the probable victors. Kent cruising through the first 2 hitters. Just 4 pitches and 2 outs. And now the Heat down to their final batter in Junior Caminero, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch to him in there for a called first strike. Kent, a career record of 26-22 in his 125th game here in the ABL. 21 saves, as Caminero pops this one high in the air. Foul territory down the first base side. A nice catch by J.D. Osborne to end the inning. Melbourne 11, Perth 4. Melbourne take the second round by a score of 3-1, including the final 2 games won for the second time this series. Cody Mincy gets the victory for Melbourne. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts to improve to a record of 1-1. And no save needed for Melbourne. The loss goes to Juan Rodriguez. 1 1/3 innings, 4 runs, 1 hit, and 2 walks. No strikeouts for Juan as well. And the Melbourne Aces with a convincing series victory, 11-4. First time they've been in double digits this season. The last time they hit double digits was in the first round of the 2020-2021 playoffs against, you guessed it, the Perth Heat. 19-4 was that game. Actually, that was the Canberra Cavalry. They beat Perth in the championship that year. But the Aces getting double-digit runs, getting really solid efforts from all 3 of their pitchers. Mincy got the win, but Jeremy Young and Steve Kent turned in really solid performances as the Aces came out with the victory. Let's take you through some of the highlights in this game. The Aces got the win, but Ulrich Bojarski went yard in the second inning after the Aces put up 2 runs in the first and 2 runs in the second inning. Bojarski hit 3 home runs in 4 games against Melbourne. And Jared Dale was one of the Aces players who went yard. Robbie Glendenning got a pair of sacrifice flies. This one was from Aaron Whitefield in the second inning. And Chris Burke had a really nice game, an RBI single and a 2 RBI double in the second and third innings. 3 RBIs in this game. The Aces put 5 runs across in that 4th inning where Burke had the RBI double. And this one, an opposite field sacrifice fly once again, this time from Robbie Glendenning to drive in Aaron Whitefield. The Aces, just a truly dominant performance. Cody Mincy had a solid performance, but 3 home runs, including this one from Pete Kozma, just kept on drifting over that left field wall. But the 3 home runs for Perth, not enough in this series. Chris Burke again, that opposite field 2-bagger in the 4th inning where the A's put up 5 runs. 5-run innings in the first and second game of today. And Chris Burke, a big part of that. He had a solo home run that also went opposite field in that last one. George Khalil ended up scoring as well. Jared Dale had a 2-run home run. And the Aces able to get it done with a long ball and some sacrifice flies. A pair from Robbie Glendenning. He had 2 RBIs, his first 2 as a member of the Melbourne Aces. We are just about ready to get started with the interview, so we're going to send it down to Aussie Mike, who is on the field with one of the stars from today's game and a multiple-time Helms Award winner in Aaron Whitefield.
Michael Marcantonini down here on the field at Melbourne Ballpark with Aces center fielder Aaron Whitefield. Aaron, you guys just took 3 out of 4 from Perth. Big series victory here in round 2. How did it feel to get 2 wins today?
Crazy weather this weekend, and the boys we've had mix up with the COVID stuff during the week. So to get out here and beat a really good team in Perth is great for the boys, and hopefully we keep it rolling to next week.
Well, you guys scored 19 runs on the day, 8 runs in the suspended game from last night that was finished earlier today, 11 runs here in the series finale. I mean, what were you guys seeing up there from the Perth pitchers?
I think it's just more us. I think we had good approach, just bringing them over the plate, and then every guy doing their job. I think that last game, we had a lot of sac flies. When guys were getting on base, we were bringing them in, and I think, if we keep doing that, it's going to be hard to beat us.
One of the biggest hits of the day for you guys, the game-tying 3-run home run off your bat in the suspended game earlier in the day. Take me through that at-bat.
I was just trying to get a pitch up to to hit, and he was throwing some fastballs in there that were getting on me, so I was just getting a pitch that I could handle and put it up into the wind and let it do the rest.
Well, the pitching did its job today, too, specifically the bullpen in Game 1, and then Cody Mincy and a couple of relievers in the second game of the day. Can you talk about the job that those guys did?
Great job. Every guy that we've had come in throwing strikes, and, I feel like we have a really great defense behind them. So I think if, they keep throwing strikes and giving us a chance, we'll keep putting up great games like we have.
You guys are headed to Adelaide this coming Thursday for round 3, a team you're familiar with. You played there for a few seasons. Plenty of success with Adelaide in this league. What are you looking forward to most from that series?
Just seeing all the guys, seeing the fans and that out there. I had a lot of fun when I was there. It was one of the first teams I moved to. So I'm just enjoying the series, and hopefully can come back with a couple more wins.
Aces outfielder Aaron Whitefield joining me post-game. Aaron, go crack a couple cold ones. You earned it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Michael Marcantonini down the field. We'll send it back up to Josh in the booth.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Aaron, for joining the show. Another big win for the Melbourne Aces, going 3-1 in the against the Perth Heat in round number 2 of the ABL season. But that's going to do it for our broadcast. The Aces with an 11-4 victory to improve to 5-2 on the young season before their first road trip of 2022. They'll head to Adelaide to face the Adelaide Giants after a pair of wins to finish off round 2 of the ABL season. Thank you all for sticking on to Aces TV all weekend long. We will provide you as much coverage as we can on social media of the Adelaide series, so make sure to stay tuned to our channels on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for plenty of Aces content all season long. But for Mike Marcantonini, as well as the fantastic production crew that we have from Sportscast Australia, I'm Josh Sperber, thanking you all for tuning in here on Aces TV. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in December when our next home series when the Aces face the Brisbane Bandits. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy your weekend.